But now one of the things I was struggling was to get an aggregate point that will give me the career I wanted. With that then, I had to sit on the seat very well and say, how do I really reconcile the subjects I'm struggling in and those that I'm good and those that want to make my dream? So it gives you the connection factor. Otherwise, kwanda kusema chemistry ni ngumu. Yeah? Have one of my friends who used to sing in the choir, thank you choir, used to lead choir. The only thing he would do in maths, which I loved, was getting like 10 or 12. Naonanga hiyo karatasi ukipewa unararua unatupa. And we would pray with this brother who goes to our boys' school. I want to tell you, you can sit and reconcile yourself and reconcile your mind. That connects to God. And God helps you to give you peace in all that you do. So when you choose to connect, you are able, my time is gone, I must move very fast. You are able to reconcile that. I go very fast. Decisive minds forms a firm character of a believer. Huwezi kuwa huku na kule. You can't, my brother. It's only the devil. He is hovering around in Job chapter 1. Yeye ndio anatembea, huwa amui na kuuliza hivi anakuuliza, huyo ni shetani. But for God, it gives you a firm character. We cannot have a Christian kila mahali, unaingianga kila mahali, pale papo, ekwa ostana. You can't be. You can't be. You must choose and avoid that. So decisive minds forms a firm character of a believer. How do you avoid being twisted or being gray in your life? Many times we are unable to say no or yes. Or we are unable to say yes or no because we have not heard from God. Yeah? Or you are not feeling clearly that unaona itu ya Mungu ni watu wengine. But there is one thing that I want to tell you, or two things that you can need to do. Always ask God to help you. There are times I was struggling. Some of you are struggling with things you cannot tell your teachers. I can tell you, God hears. I could lock myself in a room and say, God, help me that I will be able to pass exam. Then when I was in the great high school, it was not like you guys are having your principal here. We used to be bullied. Bullying. God na bulliwa tumbele wengi. I used to pray, but God heard me. Prayer. You should write down to avoid being twisted. You ask God. God is your problem. You see, God is not your problem, but your answer. Allow God to use you where you are. If you are actually struggling with saying yes or no, just pray to God that use me in Paul Boyit. Use me in my family. I could not be like other people. Just use me where I am. Okay? And God will use you. I didn't know that God will use me now. As I said, I preach to all people in that. So God can use you anywhere. Even the subjects you've been able to score. The form those who are here, avoid being great, whether you pass or not. Ask God that this grade I've received, how do I scale with it? 3 mark from every subject. And there you'll be able to go ahead. Be willing. Be willing. One of the things is some of you are unwilling to be able to be used of God. Some of you are unwilling to hear from God. Some of you are unwilling for somebody to give you an advice. Yaani unapewa advice tu ile yenye kama mmekuja kuhubiria na umefunga masikio. Kuna watu hapa hajaweka hapa kitu. But you are very unwilling as you sit here. I can tell you is a danger in your life. As you are here, get as many advice as you can. Some of your teachers here, they double up as your parents. Some of you come from single parents. I'm a pastor, I can tell you. I came from one. I would say to them and ask them, how does it take for you to study? What does it take for me to adjust here and there? Counseling department. Be willing to go to your teacher and ask. Some of you are gray and say, I can't. Na umejikaza tu na hii mwili yako kabisa. I can tell you, one of the things to avoid being twisted and being gray is to seek and be available for people to pour their life in you. Now I'm pastoring all people. Yet I came from a single, only with a mother. I can tell you, be willing to be able to receive. Mind your words. You can never recant your words. Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. I will not read that. Some of us, say once we speak to ourselves every day, has made us to be twisted. The movies, some of you watch very dangerous movies. The things that enter your mouth